And we are live. Well. 83 for 2 in 25 overs. None got our prediction right. I had said 105 for 3.
Wickets prediction.
Nikhil's the closest. Wow.
I've just pulled off.
Wow, Gulati.
Mic
wow.
needs some repair.
No wonder mics are in the state that they are.
No,
The apathy shown by people who hold them is... That is why they are in such bad shape.
Yeah.
Prediction, runs wise, I'm the closest.
You're the closest.
I said 88.
Wickets wise, you and I said 2, no?
No, I said 3.
Okay.
also
I said 2, yeah.
3.
I said 1.
1, yeah.
And you know how many runs you said?
110.
110
105,
for
105,
1.
yeah.
But
I wasn't expecting what just happened in this session. I think none of us were.
yeah.
Why? If I predicted 88
No,
and it's 83, I
but
definitely expected
You did
to.
not expect it from whom?
Ha!
That
Not
Who
Bumrah,
would you
If I
not
said
Siraj, not
88
Akash.
for 3 and it's 83 for 2,
Two.
then I expected the session to be like this. Yeah, the person could have been different. Could have been Siraj who picked up those 2 wickets and not Nitish Kumar Reddy. But then that answers your question. You guys were going on and on about should play Shardul and Nitish is not a bowler and
That's what you also have been saying, that Nitish Reddy is a
see
batter.
what he has done.
Yeah.
But I said you guys were ready to play 4 fast bowlers. I said they are playing Nitish Kumar Reddy. In their minds, he is a bowler.
No, all credit to him, but I would have still played 4 fast bowlers. Yeah.
But he's definitely done something different. It's maybe something with the wrist or something he has changed that his ball is really swinging a lot.
Slope.
No slope, this much swing. And I remember just before the game started on the broadcaster, they were showing where Siraj was, teaching him the right wrist position and all of that. So maybe that one-on-one lesson with Siraj has worked a little bit.
I don't think it was nothing extraordinary, nothing different. All that works in Nitish Kumar Reddy's favor, which is credit to him, is his pace. That is what we were talking about. Remember when that whole conversation happened that maybe they're not playing Shardul because he's down on pace. It's not that there was no swing on offer for the rest of the bowlers. Just that in English conditions, whenever there is some sort of movement, and we saw a lot of movement today, whoever was bowling, that's another thing that Nitish Kumar Reddy has gotten wicket. But Akashdeep was getting the ball to move a lot. Jasprit Bumrah did. Mohammad Siraj did. There was that. This time around, there was some movement in the air as well, which has not been there in the series so far. Usually, it's always off the deck. The seam has been doing something, but not so much of swing. But this time, there was swing on offer. And as soon as you have these conditions, that's where I think this is the perfect pace. Anywhere between 125 to 132 is that level of pace that tends to get the most out of a swinging bowler. If you see, I agree that Duckett in that sense absolutely gifted that wicket, and I'll get to that, gifted that wicket, but the delivery that he bowled to get Crawley out, that was absolutely perfect. But how did he get just that bit? Because of his slower pace. Same pace, maybe a quicker bowler doesn't get that kind of movement that Nitish Kumar Reddy got. So I think one thing that's working in his favor is his pace or the lack of it that works. And the second thing is, somewhere I felt, and I think this is down to the Duckett dismissal, that conditions weren't the easiest to begin with. They had to toil a lot in the beginning. And I think they were up for the task that they decided that, listen, that first 1 hour, 1.5 hours is going to be tough. Let's, dig our heels in and concentrate. So they did that for 1 hour. Then you have the drinks break. After the drinks break, you take a step back, okay, that we've done the hard yard. There's been a momentum breaker in that drinks break that has happened. And third factor in that is, I think as soon as you saw Nitish Kumar Reddy, the opposition sometime gets into that comfort zone saying, oh, now they've gone to a part-time bowler. And that's where you tend to induce those mistakes, because for the top bowlers, you're so, clued in, concentrating at your 100% that you just relax a bit. And I think that Duckett shot was a perfect example of how you relaxed a bit what is that? Nazre Hatti, Durghatna
Durghatna
Ghati, that sort of a thing.
The whole point by why it said that in England, especially in England, you need to be really up with your length. It cannot be short at all. The whole point of that is, and why it swings, because you're giving more airtime. So automatically when the speed is slow, it starts to swing even more because it's going even slower. So that is why I feel that Nitish Kumar Reddy got that help. Nothing to take away from him, of course, but yeah, I think he really executed his plans very well.
I think I really feel that the Indian bowlers, specifically both Bumrah and Akashdeep, they weren't really pitching that much full that was required on this kind of a track initially. Yes, they were able to trouble the likes of Duckett and Crawley on multiple occasions, but maybe if the length had been a little more fuller, things would have been different. You talk about the length that Nitish Kumar Reddy bowled to Zach Crawley. I think that was probably the perfect length that should have been targeted by Bumrah and Akashdeep on consistent occasions, but that wasn't really the case.
But the pace differential, see.
That I completely get. There is going to be a difference, but then that consistency was missing. It actually, took me back to a different match, a white ball match, although England versus Australia 2019 World Cup. It took place in Lords, and England were guilty of bowling the similar kind of lengths that basically allowed Australia to get about 280 to 90 odd on what was actually a spicy track. You remember that dismissal of Mitchell Starc to Ben Stokes, and overall the in-swing that Mitchell Starc generated early on in the second innings. That's what I really feel, that both of them did not really pitch up that much.
Although I think they did. See, again, the pace differential. Maybe they battled the conditions quite well, Duckett and Crawley. They didn't go bang bang. Of course, Crawley was riding his luck. Some edges, some wafty shots went over the slip cordon. He could have been out also. I think.
He was 1 of 18 at one particular point in time, clearly struggling.
Yeah, so that's why, see, credit to him, 13 overs, he just batted it out. But then he was living on the edge. So they were building the pressure there also. Then
he's a typical, subcontinental batter in that sense. Not even subcontinental. Like somebody who likes to bat on flat tracks. I think that was the reason why McCullum also got him into the scheme of things, because I've seen he does not bend, he does not go on the pitch of the ball, he's waiting the ball to come towards him. He's not really, looking in that test match zone in that sense.
Thank God you said flat, because subcontinent spinning decks.
Yeah, I meant absolutely flat tracks. He's somebody who likes on the rise.
Even on flat tracks, he doesn't have great returns. Yeah. He may have done well, but I'm saying someone who's played how many 50 or
57th test match, I guess. Yeah,
the number of test matches he's played doesn't. I don't know. I mean, we had a comment yesterday, somebody saying maybe he has McCullum's video or something, some joke that was cracked.
It was from Bashir.
No, it was for him also. Both him and Bashir. Both him and Bashir. Yeah.
No. It was not Bashir. I think it was Crawley. I remember.
Crawley and Bashir both.
Yeah. So he mentioned that maybe. So I mean, there's a 4 that he hit where again his leg is here and the bat was so further away. All he saw was the line of the ball and just threw his bat at it and he got a 4. What I'm saying is so unlike a test match level batter, and I can't understand they persist with him. But that's another matter. They did do the hard yards to begin with. I think there was a stage in the game just before the drinks break where I thought that India began to get frustrated, because in their mind, remember when the toss happened, Shubman Gill wasn't 100% sure what to do, and in his mind he had decided that he'll bowl, which is to say the way they saw this pitch that there will be enough juice there on the first day, or at least the first 2 sessions of day 1, and so in their mind they wanted to finish that session with at least 3 odd wickets or so. At least that was in their mind. But when that first star panned out the way it did, and I did see Shubman walk up to Akashdeep and had a word or two with him, and it wasn't like you could make out from the body language that the captain was beginning to get frustrated. And again, it's early days in his captaincy, but that's where you need patience, a bit of a experienced head on your shoulders. So he was getting that. And the fact when he gave Nitish Kumar Reddy that over, I mean, at the end, it does seem like a master stroke, but to me, it felt like that was an act of desperation. That listen, we have this session only to do whatever damage we can. It's been 1 hour and nothing has happened. I am desperate for a wicket right now. I'll do anything. Nitish, you come on, man. So for me, it felt like more out of desperation than a master stroke, and it worked like a charm. Absolutely, it's paid dividends. How well from the very first over he was amongst the wickets. But I don't think it was like, oh, you know, a genius level move there. It was like, oh my God, what is happening? I don't want to be sitting here lunchtime and there are 90 for no loss. That is going to be disastrous for us. Do whatever you can. And Nitish Reddy answered his prayer.
Yes. Luckily, NKR managed to answer the critics and also managed to ensure he got 2 wickets, 2 very good wickets when you look at it through swing bounce. I mean, the bounce that undid Crawley, I mean, he really bent his back and utilized the slope well. So that's why undone by the bounce, surprise factor, and he's looked surprisingly the pick of the bowlers.
Nitish has the knack of, you know, doing well on those big grounds. MCG 100, now Lords. Could even get a fifer. You never know.
Akashdeep, actually, the one you expected the most, has been a tad bit
Yes.
expensive.
Just
and
imagine
not really looked that
Nitish
good.
Kumar Reddy getting a 5-er.
But I think in
That
that...
won't be. See, because for his kind of, if I'm not mistaken, Chetan Sharma used to bowl on 130, 125.
No, Chetan Sharma was quick.
And
He
Chetan Sharma was a
quick.
bowler.
And Chetan Sharma was quick. He was quicker than Kapil.
That means he was
He was
135,
140 plus.
140.
Yeah, he could be 145.
And he was really bulky
He was
and all.
very deceptive because it's really short, but he was quick. Pocket dynamo. He was quick. Yeah.
So who comes close to 125,
I
130?
mean, yeah, you know, like, hey, this is in the...
Not Bhuvi
No,
was-
this is the
Praveen
Sanjay
Kumar.
Bangar sort of...
Harry
even
Brooks sort
even
of.
Saurav Ganguly would touch the 120s.
JP Yadav?
So,
Shahid Afridi.
yeah, but he's a spinner. Yeah, he could touch 120, but he was still a spinner. We're talking about medium
No, he
pace.
would throw javelins, no? Shahid Afridi, to get that pace.
Even Marcus Labuschagne, even Harry Broke, both of them also does one. Similar side, kind of.
Labuschagne touched 140, sir,
Yeah.
in BGT.
In Perth, yes.
Yeah. Doda Ganesh was one who could get the ball to swing.
Rajat Bhatia.
Rajat Bhatia.
Venki Prasad.
Yeah, you're right, actually. In the late 120s.
Venki was,
and early
130,
130s.
135.
Late 120s, early 130s. And he would get the ball to swing.
So
There was
Nitish
this-
is also in that range, 125, 130-ish. So I'm thinking, success of the bowlers, if you look at India, out and out pacers.
Praveen Kumar was still 130, 35, right?
Yeah,
He got
could.
five
But he
for
could be in the
2011.
late 120s also. He could be 130s also. 130s.
He got a 5-wicket haul in 2011 at Lords.
But
5 for 106.
in a bid to like make sure that India did have some wickets under their belt before lunch, did Gill over bowl Jasprit Bumrah? He's actually bowled 1/3 of the overs in that session.
Yeah, but that's why goes down to the fact that I felt that he was being a bit frustrated. And that is why the Gill, the captain, was pushing Jasprit Bumrah and used him in spells, gave him that first break much quicker, used him in spells. But I think that's the problem that you're going to have. Maybe, I think the mindset may have been that this is not going to be Leeds or Edgbaston where you will have long days on the field. So if it is, 300 is what, or 320 seems to be that par sort of a total, maybe he won't be required to bowl more than, I got 18,
20 odd overs,
16,
yeah.
18, 20 overs in an innings. Let's not forget he's had enough of a rest as well. So missed that test match and then there was a week's gap before that as well. So he's had enough rest. Now, if he's anyway going to be playing 3 test matches, then you'll have to bowl him a lot. And I guess the newer the ball, the more tempted he was to use it. But I guess the problem has been that Akashdeep didn't look as threatening as he would have liked on the given day. And so maybe the session coming forward. Then he always knows that even if he feels that he's pushed Bumrah a bit too much, he has a workhorse in Siraj who can then keep bowling from one end.
And Siraj has bowled well so far. I think he has been unlucky to not have a couple of wickets
Yeah,
gone
I
his
know,
way.
there was that catch.
Yeah.
Should have been taken.
It was very tough, yeah.
It sticks, it's a great catch. If it doesn't stick, then
Very
unlucky.
tough one.
Should have been taken.
Yeah, I mean, it
It's
was
because
quite...
see, for me, if you've reached the ball and it has touched your hand, it's a drop. That's the logic that.
But
used.
there is very interesting thing about Lords also, WTC and this. There is not enough carry to the slips.
That is I was just pointing that out to you also before we came here. I think that was a very smart move, and that I was about to give that example myself. I think the urgency to pick wickets was very clear because of that reason also. Shubman Gill realized that the ball isn't carrying, so he was on third slip wearing a helmet because I'm assuming why he was wearing a helmet, because he would have been a couple of steps ahead because of this reason itself, that the ball isn't carrying. Usually otherwise it is that the wicket wicketkeeper, and then the slip cordon decides their distance from the wicket according to where the wicketkeeper is standing. So I'm just assuming Shubman Gill here was a little ahead because of this reason itself. That is why I was going to ask every one of you. I just go back to the toss where Shubman Gill definitely did say that we wanted to bowl first, but that can also be a tactic where you do not want to really seem unhappy with what has happened at the toss. So don't you think that India would have batted only, realizing that this is the situation? Because they now might be, maybe when wickets weren't coming, Shubman Gill would have been feeling that if they get a good start and then go on and put a very big score, then the Indian team will be under pressure all throughout the game. Because first innings, big total, then you're always just chasing.
I think that's a big assumption to make, whether he's doing it out
Yeah.
of games play or not. I think he has no reason not to say what he felt like, and it's not that you're going to get any advantage. I mean, if you say these things on the eve of the game, it still makes a difference. You're playing minds game. Now the toss has happened, and the opposition captain has already elected what he has. So whatever I say is in no way going to influence what he is. I think India may have decided to bowl here, because whatever said in and out of all the pitches that we've seen so far, the maximum amount of movement and some bit of moisture is clearly visible in terms of the conditions that are on offer. The disadvantage, the advantage of that is using the condition. The disadvantage of that is that what if the opposition, takes the initiative if you put them to bat first, which I think he would have had to deal with. But I think the job was being made easier. And why I think is that they really thought that they would have bowled first, is because when they got that chance, that's why I go back to the point that where I saw Shubman getting frustrated. So I think in his mind he expected a lot more to have happened in that first hour, which did not happen. So again, maybe proves to be a blessing in disguise that he didn't have to make that call of bowling first, because if it backfires, it's not on him. It's the opposition that chose. But I think in his mind he expected. That's why. Otherwise, how many times does the captain get frustrated in the first 1 hour? If it's not happened, you're fine. Especially after what has happened in the first 2 tests. Here he thought that if we don't utilize this time, then time is running out. We only have 1 or 2 sessions, and come on, we need to make something happen. That's why I must be massively relieved that the guy who's done it has come out of syllabus, Nitish Kumar Reddy, for the opposition. He'd be happy. But on that subject, we spoke about how for India, if it is going to be KL Rahul, for England it's going to be Joe Root. And I mean, the way he started off with that boundary, I don't know, somewhere I felt that that was a risky stroke. First up, you're just anxious. Siraj bowls a wide one, throws his bat at it, gets a 4. But after that, look really composed. Ominous signs, you reckon?
See, he's got 700s at Lords. He loves this venue. He's got a good record. Last time also in that 60 overs of Hell game, he was the one who scored a 150 plus, if I'm not mistaken, in the first innings. So, get Root out, and I'm pretty much sure that yes, most of the damage has been done when it comes to England batting. So he does look in good touch. He's seeing the ball late, flicking it through the onside as well. So if he's seeing the ball late and he's timing it well, it means that he's in good form. Remember how the Aussies always used to set him up. By that extra pace, if you get it in and he misses it, then he's plumb LBW. But if he sees the ball late and is timing it well, then you're in serious trouble. And the Lord's special also, he's got hundreds there. He knows the venue, how to go about it, how to pace his innings, how to tame the best of bowlings. So it does look ominous, but yeah, I think I have it in this Indian bowling. I have the confidence that they can nip him quickly in the bud.
I just somehow feel that England would have definitely taken a lesson from what India did at Edgbaston. So one thing that came with Shubman Gill's 269 was that they actually tired the home team out, and that's what England would really want to do to India. Although I can understand that it was a shared session, both teams, I think they had their fair share of luck. But if England are to really tire India out, just like similar to what happened when India did to England in the second test, I think it's going to be their number 4 batter only, Joe Root. But having said that, I think India have actually prepared extra for him. It does, seem like from the first couple of test matches. So I'm not really worried about Root, because I somehow get this feeling that Akashdeep and Bumrah will take care of him. That should not be a problem.
I think what England's plan should be should be heading into this test match would have been that Joe Root should be that pillar of that batting who goes and takes his time and plays all throughout, and everybody else is playing around him. And it looks like that he's doing exactly that. He's looking really compact like Sidvi sir.
But he's not going to bat like that, huh? That he's going to be there and everyone plays around him. I think he's going to bat aggressively.
And what Sidvi sir also mentioned, just technically, I think more or less he has covered it. He's looking really compact. He's playing late. He's watching the ball really well, and the conditions seem to be suiting him at this point of time. So I would definitely be scared of him, because Jasprit Bumrah, for how long can I actually bowl Jasprit Bumrah? How many overs in a spell of Jasprit Bumrah will Joe Root actually end up facing as well? And by the time Jasprit Bumrah comes back into the attack, till that time Joe Root will be very well set. So all of these things, I'm a little scared, because 100 here or there, I think, will just completely change the complexion of the game.
Which is why I wanted to ask this thing. Supposing we saw in Leeds, Bumrah bowled close to 25 overs first innings. His utility was drained in the second innings. Will it be the case of once bitten, twice shy, and do you think India will have to go back to it? Because Bumrah is the only one who can get you breakthroughs if there is a partnership building. Suppose they manage to play out Nitish well, they play out Siraj well, they play out Akashdeep well. Can India risk bowling Bumrah for 25 overs again?
I think they will be left with no option. I think Siddharth made the point that have they overbowled him. See, if they keep getting wickets, which is about 2 to 3 wickets per session, which I think minimum India is expecting. Ideally India's aim would have been to dismiss England out today. Even if it happens towards the end of the day. But if that's not going to be a case, and let's say England lose about 6 odd wickets in a day, and if it's anywhere less than 7 or something in a day, then I envision that at the end of the day we're looking at Jasprit Bumrah and he's bowled a minimum of 20 overs. I don't see him bowl any less than 20 overs today if you haven't been able to dismiss them or get into their tail and deep into their tail. Their tail also starts much later, because I'm not going to count Vokes as the tail, so beyond that. And if that's the case, then he's bowling 20 odd overs today, then tomorrow is another day. So it could be more than 25. I mean, from now on, how do you bowl less of Bumrah? If he's bowled 8 now, and if you take that as an average, then he's sitting at 24 overs at the end of the day's play. And that, how do I bowl him less? If you dismiss England before that, which means everyone else is chipped in with 2-3 wickets, or more than 2-3 wickets every session.
I think that's where maybe the inexperience of Gill is shown, because had he tried Washington Sundar and Jadeja for an over each, maybe then he would have had an idea as to how he wants to rotate his bowlers in the second session. Now that he hasn't tried them, you aren't really sure there's going to be any amount of turn from the pitch or not. That's where I think Gill will have to plan things maybe from the scratch for the second session.
And the thing with spinners, now this is where I go back to those 2 spinner theory, that even if, see, firstly, Lord's not traditionally, or at least in the recent past, has been not helpful to spinners. You've played 2, you have not gone to them because there is moisture and you think that I need to utilize my fast bowlers. Now what do you do? Who do you go to? See, the previous pitches, because they were dry and a bit abrasive in nature, you could go to your spinners. Now what do? You would want to bowl your fast bowlers, you can't go to the spinners. And I mean, towards the end of the day, maybe, but again, what you need to do now, which is why I spoke about Joe Root, you need to get him out now. And that actually holds true for Ollie Pope as well. He's the most nervous of the players to begin with. Once they are past, let's say, a 50-60 marker, let's take Joe Root for example, he's past 60, then he is going to be tough to dislodge, even if you get spinners. I think he plays spinners rather well from there on. So how effective will those 2 spinners be? Once again, if you have to dismiss a set Joe Root, will you again want to rely on an Akashdeep or a Bumrah? Only they'd be able to do it with their skills. And then you need to bowl them more. So that's the catch-22 that you will be faced with.
This catch-22 is going to be the decider in that second session, because how much do you bowl Bumrah? How much are you going to get the spinners to operate in the second session? That will be the key, because you bowled 25 overs. There is some movement, but maybe it is through the slope and because the nature of the Duke's ball also that is there. This current batch, maybe it's aiding swing a lot.
I think they've
more.
already changed the ball once, have they? Because I did see the box come in. I'm sorry, I may have missed it. I saw a box come in. I don't know whether they
I
changed
can't
it or not.
remember that.
It was too early
Yeah.
though. But with the examples that we've had in the series so far, every 10 overs they
Let me
start
just
getting.
confirm, yeah.
I can't recollect, so I can't give a comment on that. So.
Though, as I said, this is not as abrasive a surface as compared to what we got at Leeds
Yeah, I
and
think
Edgbaston.
Edgbaston and Leeds, the outfield itself was very, very dry.
Yeah, and
there were a lot of dry patches.
And also at Leeds, there were too many practice pitches. So because of that, also the ball was.
Yeah. No, this is a nice lush green, lot of moisture on the pitch.
Although I think there is a practice pitches around the third man region, right?
Here.
In Lodge? No.
No.
You practice at the
Behind-
practice ground behind.
Behind the pavilion, right?
So that's the Middlesex county practice session. So they have both outdoor as well as indoor nets. So you can choose
So
whichever
maybe
one.
that's why the abrasiveness then won't happen that quickly then for the
Yeah.
this time around. So yeah,
Exactly.
it's quite lush. So that's why. But again, the quality of Duke's ball, it's a really big problem. I mean, see, you've changed the conditions. You've not made it look like you're playing a test match game. It's just not like that. So that's why I hope that the quality of the Duke's ball is addressed in a big way. So in that sense, that is going to be a big issue. So 83 for 2 and 25 overs.
Pawan, you don't want us to take questions today? If you say so, then we won't.
I don't think there's been a change in the ball.
There would not have been a change in the ball, but.
Yeah, no, but I just saw that they had been bringing a box, but yeah. Danush says, looking at Crawley shows how good Strauss and Trescothick were.
They both were like, there's no comparison at all.
there is.
One
I think
was an
looking at
England
Crawley,
captain, like,
everybody looks good only.
yeah.
Closest is Craig Brathwaite.
I think we
You know,
troll him a lot.
There was a legendary cricketer.
I don't know what you see in him.
I don't see
But,
anything. Even he's a typical batter, wide ball batter.
Oh, so then if there is a typical white ball batter, won't you criticize him?
No, I'm criticizing him. He should not be in the test team, but I'd like to see him in wide ball.
But we are talking about test cricket, na, Shashwat.
Still,
Arey,
he's somebody who.
I can't understand what you're saying.
You know,
See, either you have to be a backer of him saying, no, he's good, I like him in test cricket. Fair. You yourself are trolling him by saying he's a good white ball batter. I like to see him in white ball cricket. That's
No,
fine.
red ball
So
definitely.
then
he does not have it. in
Talking
him.
about thing, no, then I mean,
But
good,
what I'm trying to say is not a
good
bad
white
player.
ball batter. Yeah, but good white ball, whatever player you can bring. Phil Salt then can come and play. I like him in white ball. Nah? Play him in test cricket as well.
There's an Australian cricketer who was a big fan of Crawley. In fact, he said that, Crawley is the next big thing in England cricket. Shane Warne.
Now, you saying we are being harsh on him. You sit here and troll KL Rahul 24/7. And what you are the one who told me that record. So many test matches, average below 35 never happened. 56 test matches, average 31. But because he's English, so he's fine.
No.
But
That's not the case.
So, okay, my point is with the same logic. Why would you remind us of that stat 100 times about KL Rahul?
What I'm trying to say is that.
So first tell me, answer the question. Why would you remind me? Because you thought it was not good enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Then why don't you remind us of this also? Every time we talk about Crawley, 56 test matches, opener he is.
And an average of
30. Unlike KL, who used to get dropped and gets pushed up and down, sometimes middle order, he took his place is done. Like Riyan Parag is fixed at number 3 or 4 for Rajasthan. Crawley is also fixed to open for England.
Just check Craig Brathwaite also. One of the last West Indies players to play 100 tests. I don't see anybody else play 100 tests in this era. Because see, he averages after 100 tests, by the way, 32 as an opener. Imagine, the luckiest guy to have played 100 tests.
Yes, Shubham is saying exactly that same thing.
What you just said.
Exactly.
After Johnny Bairstow.
Because this is clearly different strokes for different folks you're using. That no Crawley, we are being harsh on him. He's a good player. He is a good white ball player. But KL Rahul, 35 average. How long will he continue? These many matches he gets. Who bats with 35? How is he? This guy has 31 average, but he
should not be playing test cricket. No chance.
So then that is exactly what we are talking about. So what is your point?
So please, questions. Priyanshu. Nikhil sir, Crawley has. Okay, no, I can't take that. He's got.
He says he has video of Robkey and Bashir.
As of Stokes. Yesterday, I said Root will decide the match. I think Root is standing between England collapse. Bethel is far better than Crawley.
Absolutely.
But the only problem is I think why they're not getting in is that who will open then if Bethel comes in.
Because
That's
Bethel
the
is a
only
middle
problem.
order batter. I think the toss-up was between Ollie Pope and Bethel.
Bethel.
Ollie Pope went and got those runs against Zimbabwe, and then he cemented his position. And he played, and then to be fair to him, he got runs in that first test match at Leeds as well, Ollie Pope. So
you can get in Bethel in place of Crawley, open with Pope and get Bethel at 3.
no, but I don't know whether Pope is okay to open. No, like it's not like India, and they don't have KL Rahul team man, na, who'll go and play anywhere. They may
That
say
man
that
could be Crawley who you can keep
India
on.
is opposite. Openers also say, no, now I've had enough. I will bat at number 3 or I will bat at 4. Or they get that.
You need to be
Only
the captain,
one person who says, okay, I will bat wherever.
KL Rahul.
The English players are not like that. Indian players, rest of them are not like that. So maybe Crawley is the only one who is saying, I'll bat open. Like whoever is saying, chalo yaar, you open.
Beat You has a comment. 2021, both KL and Joe Root scored 100 at Lords.
Are we seeing
a repeat?
Well, it's too early to say.
far,
Yeah. Too early to say, but as Priyanshu mentions, he also pointed out that Joe Root is standing between England and England collapse. I'm not sure whether if Root goes out, there'll be a collapse. It's tough to say that. So I don't think he's standing between a collapse, but yeah, he could be the guy who's standing between England win versus an India win. Just as I think KL, if conditions, we don't know how the pitch is. Maybe the pitch eases up by the time India come out to bat. We don't know. But hypothetically, if the pitch continues to have juice like this for the first 3-4 days of the Test match, and there's enough for the bowlers, like not like really seeming swinging conditions, but like these sort of conditions where batters can also score, bowlers can also chip in. I mean, these are the conditions where I don't think the batter can consider himself set throughout. He has to be on the guard whenever he's batting. He can get runs, but he has to always be, as we saw with Duckett Day, just little bit of going off the boil and he's out. So I think you have to be fully concentrating. Interesting will be if there is condition like this when India bats also. Then it will be interesting to note the temperament of some of the Indian players plus their technique as well. Because to look ugly and score runs is also another art where you are playing and missing, but you're there. I'll stay, I'll get runs. Slowly and steadily I'll keep getting runs. Which I thought England were doing till Nitish Kumar Reddy, that 1 over. It's actually that 1 over.
Yes.
Take that 1 over out, it would have been a
the
very
way he
different
celebrated
session.
looked like that
No,
he was
he was
answering to everybody who
Absolutely.
criticized him, or maybe he didn't believe himself.
Answering whom?
Everybody.
Yeah, people had doubts over his bowling. I completely agree. Completely agree.
Mone Mokal has been working with him. He wants to make him a more
With him only
effective
is
bowler.
working, it looks like.
Why? Akashdeep?
Akash
He didn't work with him. Siraj? 7 wickets in the class match. And
Krishna
Bumrah?
took 5 wickets in the
Bumrah is
first match.
also working
Yeah.
with him, right.
Sarat Chandra, I have to say one thing, that over was a change-up bowler to get Akash on an end
Yeah.
which he didn't bowl. He was a change-up bowler and worked for us and should trust him more. We'll start with Siraj and NK here. Wow.
Actually, that's what Sarachandra, you're right. This is what I'm saying. That I don't think it was an inspired choice to go there. It was more a bit of a frustration, or maybe even looking to change the end, because everyone right now wants to bowl from the pavilion end. So, I mean, they were finding a way to do that, because if you're bowling from the pavilion end, then to a right hander the ball comes in because of the slope. So I think they were trying to figure that out as well. Though, but I must credit Indian bowlers that even against the slope they've been able to move the ball. So let's say from the pavilion end, if the natural angle is going to bring the ball into the right hander, but they're using the variation and troubling the batter by even taking the ball away from him. Also because the slope, as I said, it is big, but it is big over a huge distance, and pitch is very narrow in that sense to make too much of a difference. It makes a very slight difference, but then people will say that the difference between getting an edge and getting the middle of the bat is also minute. So that
yes.
extra slight bit of movement
And cricket is a game of margins at the end of the day.
Yeah, you don't need banana swing from the air or on the wicket. Just fine mud, like what happened in Edgbaston. So yeah. Anshu Mishra, Nick sir, is Mark Ramprakash of England and Amol Mazumdar of India greatest first-class cricketers and unluckiest player to not play Test cricket?
No, but
Both
Mark
Mark
Ramprakash
Ramprakash played 50 odd test matches if I'm not
I
wrong.
think 30 or 40.
Yeah.
That Ashes period, he was there.
Yeah, but I mean, so that's not a fair comparison because Mark Ramprakash played for England and Amol Mazumdar didn't get a chance to play for him.
Yeah, both domestic behemoths agreed. I mean, Ramprakash has got 100 first-class hundreds. Blood Axe. That's his nickname, by the way. Mark Ramprakash's nickname is Blood Axe. So go down, Pawan, any further?
I think he's from, I mean, West Indian origin.
Guyana,
I think.
yeah, maybe.
So I don't think it's like
India.
India. It is via the Caribbean route.
Yeah.
So Indian heritage via the West Indian.
Like Shiv Narayan and Tej Narayan.
Like that.
Not Tag Narayan, please.
Yeah,
Tej
yeah.
Narayan. Tej Narayan Chandrapal, yes.
Chili Paneer has a question. New ball to Nitish Kumar Reddy in second innings.
Yeah, you're pushing it. No.
I think
Okay,
India
got
will
to
bowl. India
got
will
two
bowl
wickets.
England out before that.
No, but I mean, this is also pushing it.
No, I
He's
thought that
asking the
he's
second
saying
innings.
80 overs. Okay, I thought. Yeah,
He's saying second
no,
innings.
no.
Of course, not. We don't even need to think about that. You should.
In second innings, you'll give Nitish Kumar Reddy.
No. We should not even think about that.
It's okay. Don't get carried away. Yeah, 2 wickets have come. 2 wickets in an over. Shardul Thakur also picked and was dropped the next match. So
Exactly.
just a reminder.
Yeah. Colin Nanto. Why is Crawley trying to become Constance by charging the Indian
Because he is
bowlers?
not in form.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I know that streaky boundary he got trying to charge down the wicket. Streaky boundary. That's the best way he could get runs.
Over the slips. Yeah.
Having said that, I think he got a chaffer of a ball. Not much he could
Just
have done.
lipped up. Yeah. That's the thing.
Vihir Shah saying maybe Shardul could have played instead of Washi. 100% Vihir. I mean, when we were discussing, ideally, if you look at that, the conditions here and what Lords has to offer, and then we were discussing about the workload of bowlers, it would have made sense to have someone like a Shardul Thakur bowl there because, again, you could have rotated your bowlers. He also with that sort of pace. And let's not forget, he did pick up 2 wickets in that one test match he played and barely got any overs to bowl there, yet he picked up. In Lords, he very well could have done that, but I guess India didn't want to make too many changes, and I think they don't now trust his batting, which is also unfair. His batting as much as they trust Washi's, because he also had that one failure only with the bat. But I think they made up their mind. Not the ideal selection for me, and I like the fact that I know people will say that if you make too many changes, you show that you're panicking, and so you want to maintain consistency. But if you're making changes based on conditions, I think that should be accepted, right? If you're playing different conditions, different pitch, then you want to play a different team. And if Lords did offer a bit more to seam bowlers and especially gentle, medium bowlers, then it made a case to play Shardul.
Aditya Saxena saying we should have started with Siraj and Akash. Bumrah can get purchase after the ball is old.
True.
Actually, Aditya, good point. We discussed that, but I don't think. See, it's a double-edged sword. If you do not start with Bumrah, let's say, and that 1 hour would have gone, and let's say Nitish Kumar's over, Reddy's over, this wouldn't have done anything, and you had started with someone else, and you were sitting at lunch, whatever, the 90 for no loss or whatever, I think we would have all had a go at Shubman Gill saying, how can you not give the new ball to Jasprit Bumrah, man? You get him by first change. That time they have had a sighter or 2 and you're not picked up. It's a tough position because I'll give an example of T20 cricket. Once or twice captains have not even get him to bowl the first over and things don't go your way. Even though he's come by the 3rd over, they get a lot of pasting. So I guess
But
it's
with
also
the
not
Dukes,
an easy
isn't it
call.
like that the new ball doesn't swing that much because there is too
Yeah,
much
but
lacquer.
you
As
can
soon as
argue-
it gets a little old.
All those logics, Shashwat, go out of the window. If I'm just saying you're sitting here at 90 for no loss, now I think the number one discussion point would have been, and if Bumrah hadn't started with a new ball, what is this?
Exactly.
Elementary. Your best bowler, you're not giving a new ball. No one would have said, no, actually, after 5 overs it will start. No, nobody would.
That's exactly.
It would have been considered a sin.
Yes. So
Would
yes,
have been.
Bumrah is starting this session.
Oh. See, what it is telling me is that India wants wickets quickly and they understand the importance of this pair, I guess.
He's only been bowling from this end only, right? He's not bowled from the other end.
Yeah, he's just been bowling, yeah. He's been bowling from the pavilion end, correct.
Pavilion end.
Yeah.
Or maybe if you want to have him more effective, why not switch ends for him? Maybe he can have more purchase there. If it doesn't work out from
Against his angle.
yeah.
It'll just get us straighter a little bit more.
Sorry, he's been bowling from the nursery end. Yeah, he started off also from the nursery end and he's bowling from the nursery.
Nursery end only. Okay.
Yeah.
So, yep. 2 hours of.
Oh. So see, now he's bowling against the slope. So even though he's getting the ball to in, but the slope's going the other way.
Other way.
But yet he's getting the ball to come in.
Yep. Genius.
So
This came
yeah. Okay, what do you reckon will happen in this session?
190, meaning 107 runs more for the loss of 3 wickets.
You go first.
Okay. I'll go with 185 for 6.
Another 90 runs for 2 wickets. So that's about 180.
90. 3 runs per over.
Yeah.
Okay.
How many wickets?
2 wickets this session. So approximately 190 for 4.
4.
Yeah.
190 for 4.
4. Yeah.
I'm going 173
4.
for either 3 or 4. I don't know what to say.
3 or 4. So 90 runs for 1 wicket.
Or 2.
2 wickets.
I'm a bit confused with that.
Okay.
Yeah, let's see.
We will join you at 8:10.
Okay, I'll go
10.
3 down. There'll be 3 down.
5 total. No, only 1 wicket. Okay.
Only 1 wicket.
Only
okay.
1 wicket.
So there will be 173 for 3, 90 for 1 in this session. Okay.
So the most number of wickets. I've said 4 wickets. This
Possible.
Could be.
I mean, the trick is, do they play Bumrah out? I think they will, just as they did in the first session. So, I mean, for India to get wickets, Siraj and Akashdeep will have to step up.
Yeah.
And they're not looking to be busy against Bumrah.
Exactly.
Both these
That's why they're
batters,
playing
that's
him
the
out.
point. Yeah, true.
They're happy not giving him run because his economy of 1.6 or so. I think they'll continue with that plan. With him, just play him out. Let Akashdeep and Siraj work for their wickets. I mean, again, Reddy can't be the guy who just, out of the blue picks you wickets. So, which is why you'll have to have Siraj and
Akashdeep, yeah.
Yes.
Step up.
So, yep.
See you guys.
8:10 will be the tea session. We'll join you then. Bye-bye.
Last one.